Okay, so this is a marketing audit for Tutor with the Best. So our objectives are to increase our website traffic, to bring back repeat customers with deals, to grow our email list and bring back previous students, to generate sales, uh, pulling in new students, continuing ads, but that's not the focus right away. We need to get our ducks in a row first. So we need to get higher Google and Thumbtack ratings, and we want to increase brand awareness, and we want to put a lot of focus into generating evergreen content, hoping to eventually get a viral evergreen hit eventually, but you never know what's going to take. So here are some of the steps. We need to upgrade the website. So we don't want to drive our traffic to our website with ads, with all the different social media options until the website is first able to convert. And it's a good website. There's lots of positives to say about it, but there are things that we need to do first to make the website begin converting. So then later we can do the Google PPC ads, pay-per-click ads. We can do Facebook, other paid advertising. So the site needs to have a home base. And in the olden days, previously websites were international. It didn't really matter what your address was. But now to rank on Google, especially to get in the top 3, that's called the snack pack, you need to say that you are from somewhere. I know you're an international company, but saying that you're from somewhere will help you to rank quickly. So there needs to be a page for each location that one of your teachers lives. On the Quick Start sign up page, under the pull up, there's a really long list of services that you are offered, but then these aren't mentioned that many other places on the site. Like there is statistics, SAS, SPSS, and there's a little bit of brief mention for statistics, but each of the services that you tutor for needs to have more emphasis on the website. And then for SEO purposes, there should be a squeeze page for each item, for each service, each thing that you tutor, along with some copywriting. And that's going to highlight that subject matter. So it's like, we have a math page, and on this math page, these are all the math topics that we can teach, and these are the type of students we bring in, and we've been doing this for a long time, and here's the different teachers that teach math, and just say lots of words about math. Maybe have a list to worksheets that you guys have, or a list of worksheets that you could find somewhere else. Just get your people started, and the objective is to say lots of words, like 500, 1,000 words to bring them in. And those will be gateway pages. Okay, so there should be a page for memory. There should be a page for relaxation and sleep. There should be a whole page just for anxiety and a page for coping. So each of these subject matters is going to have a menu label. Coaching, that's the header. Coaching is the header for all that. And then, okay, point to life coaching. All right. From that coaching page, they go off to their own pages. So we need to gateway pages to bring people to your site using SEO. Then on each of those gateway pages have a call to action, like hire a math tutor now, on your each squeeze page. Okay, optional. Create a payment processing system where the company pays using Stripe, and then there is a paid tool. It's a little bit expensive. It's about $80 a year, where you could digitally divide up that money that comes in and go, a little bit goes here, a little bit goes, you could divide that money up online. Whereas the current system, it's the teacher brings in X amount of money and then pays to the company a certain amount of money, a percentage. Okay, so section on SEO marketing. So why would we focus on SEO? And there's so many other marketing options. I mean, there's email, there's advertisements, and we will get to a lot to email in a minute. But first, search traffic is free. And so organic traffic is fairly consistent. Once you rank high, it's going to continue. Search traffic is the result of users actively searching for information, and the number of searches for a given topic is consistent month to month, whereas other methods like social media, email marketing, and there'll be spikes and it can fade away, and you pay, and then once you stop paying, it doesn't keep happening. So this will eventually turn into a lot of free organic traffic of people who are very interested in whatever it is that they've searched for. And you will get a new audience. You have the opportunity to reach a massive audience that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. Uh, there's billions of internet users around the world, and they're using Google. So there's a lot of SEO tasks that need to be done on the website, and I can send you the report that I generated. And there's a lot of work to be done, header tags and SERP, and there's a lot of good stuff. Then we need to decide what keywords and long tail keywords to rank for. I made a list of about 50 or so keywords. We need to work on backlink building and word of mouth to spread the word about our updated website and newsletter email tips. And we'll get to that in a sec. Okay, so we need to create a sales funnel as soon as possible. And a cheap entryway to get into a funnel is MailerLite. There's a lot of tools out there, but some of them can be really expensive, and that's just a good start. We need to write regular sales copy. I'll get to that in a minute. We need to gather, and so this is some work on your part, the email addresses of everyone who's been tutored in the past. So we need to segment those emails based on what subject was tutored. What their age was, what is the information and demographics about each of those emails, and how can we segment those? So we also need to create upsells, downsells, bulk discounts, and coupons. Maybe all, maybe none, but that all of those would be of high value. So like a bulk discount would be, hey, if you pay up front for 5 classes, we'll toss in one free. Or you can say to a teacher who teaches math in Singapore, and she buys a bulk rate for 50 students for her students, and then she can get a discount for that. So we need to figure out, who do we go to, who do we market to, and then how can we give them special rates. Another system would be, students could earn points, or if you share our service with other people, with your friends, then you can get a discount with us. And there is a tool which is a little bit expensive. It's $130 a year for a tool where you could offer discounts, badges, and things like that, discount coupons directly from the website, and that would be a paid service. And there's other ways of doing coupons and stuff. All right, so Evergreen Content, create free training. So we want to create quality content, and so we need to hire a content writer to create good weekly tips, which are simply written, 6th grade level, friendly, to the point, and inspire people to learn. So an example topic would be, what's the difference between a tutor and a teacher? And and then in this way you can rank for the word teacher. So how you could have a chart and explain how tutored students do better than untutored students, and hopefully that would draw people into your information. So your blog is already good. You've got some good stuff in there, but it needs some SEO tinkering work to be done on it. And especially each article needs at least one graphic, and in-house graphics are best, but it's okay to use stock footage if necessary. And then we need to fix up the meta tags on that. People love infographics. There's a lot of SEO work that goes into all that. So after the core information is written, then we need to do other tasks to make it rank with SEO. Your titles need to be clickbaity. In general, I don't I don't like it, but that's the way of the world. So you have an article, it's called Joy in Learning. That's fine. There's nothing, that's the way it was, and there's no problem with that. But if we want people to come to the website, we need to change the title. And we can brainstorm a whole bunch of different titles. This could become You Don't Have to Hate Learning, or I Hated School Until I Learned, or Want to Succeed? Embrace your inner child, have fun, and fail. Or I was a failure until I embraced my inner child. Anyways, there's lots of, that's just brainstorming. You try different things out, sometimes A/B testing, and you just figure out what's going to work, and these become lead magnets to draw you in. In fact, each blog post, we should try lots of possible titles for each of those. And okay, titles can be as long as 65 characters, and also, unfortunately, some of what you've written is too well written. That sounds crazy. But you have to dumb your information down to about 6th grade reading level for the average person. We can try different variations, synonym, keywords, use more bullet points, numbered lists, short paragraphs. Every blog page should have a strong call to action. You should have a visible author bio and image. There's lots of techniques we can try. This is just getting us started. So we need to create a powerful freemium lead magnet to bring in email addresses from visitors to our site. And so I've got a couple of link image possible things here that we can create. So we create the text, and then we create the imagery that we want to go with it, and then we hire someone on Fiverr, and they make the whole thing look nice. There was an online benefits blog. There was one item that you wrote that was called I forget what it was called, but it was really good, and we could take that off the site, but then we could add information to it and call it the ultimate guide to hiring an online tutor and make that beautiful. And the simple way is you just go to all your competitors who say anything similar, and you take this idea and that idea, and you make the ultimate guide said in your own words. We should create free worksheets, free tests, free exams, all sorts of tools for students, and hire just a content editor on Fiverr who can just create some stuff for us. And you've got some good stuff, and we just need to beef it up. Okay, so for each item created, we need to make it beautiful, talk about how great it is. You say, wow, we're about to share something with you, and this is all the things that it's going to do for you. Hurrah. And then we go out and we try to get backlinks to each of that content. So we would benefit a lot from education marketing training videos to pre-qualify clients. What copy would best reach our target audience? So you use video training. We could use video training for as a lead magnet to bring someone in to know what kind of training we do. Like you could post a YouTube video on statistics. Someone comes to our website, and draws them in. We could also have video training. I'll get to this in a minute, on onboarding new teachers to the company. All right. So some of the content is well done, but people are not yet finding you. So we need to upgrade the appearance. We could, like, for instance, have an instructional video at the top of every important page. Like those math tools, those 1-minute math tool tips, you could have one nice video to explain how to use those tools. Okay. It would be cool if we could create a customer, student, teacher, parent portal, so a parent can know how their student is doing, a teacher can know how their student, whatever. A portal can be really handy so that the companies, so that you guys, so that you know all the employees of your company, how they're interacting. And then students can look at their own progress, and then the students can download completion badges. And you could have monthly progress reports. This is an example that somebody else did. Let's see, a tutor dashboard. And you could create an elite training program. So, for instance, say you wanted to have a statistics program, you could have like 1 hour of a free course that people could try out, and in the 5 hour extensive statistics course really dives deep into the really amazing, complicated stuff at a university level. And then when someone's completed, you could give them a certificate and say, hey, this person went through our online program for statistics. And obviously discounts, referrals, that goes a long way. Okay, so I think the most important thing I want to share is the best way to win is to create systems, and you can achieve anything as long as you're willing to not be in complete control. So your business needs you to delegate. So you need to stop doing the task of whatever you do and then create systems that allow other people to do what you already do so well. So you need to transition from being good at what you do to becoming a highly sought after business owner. You need systems to onboard skilled people so that you can manage your business. So stop spending time in your business and spend time on your business. Less time in your business, more time on your business. Chase your business, not your tail. Prioritize on a long-term strategy. So if anything ever happened to you, what would happen to your business? If you got ill, if you needed to travel somewhere urgently, if you needed to step away, would your business continue? So you need to implement systems where you hire and you train and you advertise. And once successfully in place, the company will just keep generating money and you can back off. Customer maximization. So repeat customers who you've already won over will dramatically increase your investment compared to trying to reach out to new customers. You need to start finishing. Let me say that again. You need to start fishing in your own pond. Create your own pond instead of getting fish from another pond. Because if you play by the rules of somebody else, they can change the rules of the game at any time. And I've heard a lot of horror stories of people who were making money on Facebook and then things went wrong and then they lost their company. So acquiring a new company can cost as much as 5 times more than retaining a previous customer. So stay in contact with them to keep retention rates high, and that's why we need a funnel. So the value of these customers will increase as they refer your service to other people. You need to wow your customers with the value, and this is achieved using automated procedures like funnels. So follow up immediately after job completion and keep them loyal. And so now I'm going to move on to target marketing segmentation. So we need to decide on what customers and students we want to focus on. It would be great if we can offer bulk discounts to students, to schools, universities. We need to figure out who are our customers, our target audience. What do they want besides tutoring? So I wrote a list of some possible places that we could find future students at, and then what would be the system that would best reach out to them. Like for instance, we could market to international baccalaureate and AP students, whereas, homeschool community, once you're in, and that's great. But what if many of them are low tier? So maybe we don't even want to target low tier, low cost, low price services. So in fact, we should even consider removing services. So if there's a way we can be, excuse me, pardon me. So if there's a way we can be a big fish in a small pond instead of a small fish in a big pond, one of these ways we need to find our niche, and then we need to remove low-paying services like tutoring children. And not that we will, but we need to focus on creating a niche and focus on the higher paying services. So if there's a way that we can, um, the lead trainers can work themselves out of a job by training other tutors, that would be fantastic. And then manage the company so as not to have to do so much tutoring as someone moves up in the company, becomes a lead. So we need a hiring onboarding process. We need to create a system to hire new qualified candidates. We need a referral coupon system. Well, it'd be nice, doesn't have to happen. We need to create a system on incremental pay raises for employees. For instance, there'd be a trial period where a new teacher only made $20 an hour. And then after a number of hours of successful teaching students, then they can make 30 or onward. So this would give teachers a goal to strive towards. Also, be nice if teachers had an idea of the future, an idea of the present. Like, what should they be doing? What does this tutor know the difference between tutoring and teaching? That's something I know that I personally wrestled with. Okay, here's an example of a website that does that. So we need to examine our competitors. What are they doing right? What keywords are they using to rank? What backlinks have they earned? Can we go in and figure out what were those backlinks? Can we get those backlinks and use it for ourselves? So I listed out some competitors that have got some really different, good web design, good concepts. I think we could beat all of them. And there's this first one on the list, remind.com tutoring. I think that they have a really nice looking website, and we could copy their web design and use it for ourselves, and just make a whole bunch of changes to make it obviously reflect ourselves. And speaking of which, I think that we should change the logo now that I think about it. It's good, but it just needs tinkering with. Okay, reputation enhancement. We need to work on our Google My Business listing and repair negative reviews if possible, or at least reply to them. For instance, there are people on Thumbtack who've left negative reviews. And Larry J. on September 13, 2021, was quite upset. He never was able to get into contact, or at least that's what he said. So we got his phone number, and it would be great if we could figure out whatever happened there and help him to be not so upset. Maybe go back and say, hey, because things didn't work out right and it was for a good reason. Hey, he offered to give me 2 hours of tutoring to make up for the thing that happened. But we need to improve our ratings with some of these different people I have on the screen. They left slightly negative reviews and one very bad review. Okay. So paid advertisements. Now, once everything else is set up, we have a marketing funnel set up, and the website looks good, then we can move on to paid advertisements. So we can create a mail campaign, for instance, to grandma. Say, hey, grandma, do you want to pay for your grandchildren's tutoring? Here's a coupon. You can get 6 hours, but only pay for 5. Won't that be great? And you can just send that off to your grandkids. And here's some websites I've got here. You can get a 40% per coupon advertisement system. Here's a $37.50 a month for this other company. Potentially we could get a Groupon system. All right, I wrote out doing Google searches on your website. These are some long tail keywords I found. And then here were some regular keywords that I found. So here's a list of words that have things to do with your company, and we could write content around those words. And then here's sample bidding. Monthly search volume on best tutor in America would be 300 a month. And then you would, for an ad, you'd be paying $3 to $11 for best tutor on if you were to pay for that. But if you rank with SEO, then that just comes to you for free. And that would have been per link. All right, so link building. We need to claim any listings that point to us, and we need to manually add external links that point to us, like Yelp, Smart Reviews. We need to go out there and work on our link building. And then there's some more advanced methodologies for link building that we can talk about down the road. That's a very powerful system, but it comes later. All right, social profiles. I noticed that you've got a bunch of stuff set up. There's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, a lot of different choices. I did a SWOT analysis. That's a common market term: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. And you can look this over. I'll send this to you. It's kind of just an overview analysis, and then a market trend analysis. And then here are backlink pages that refer to you. And since I'm here, I will go ahead and pull up. Okay, I found some links with errors. And so I'll just scroll through this. I'll send this to you too. There was some links that had errors. And then also I can send to you an SEO report that I generated. And I can talk you through that later. But I think for now that is, yep, I think that's enough for now as an overview of the kinds of things that we need to do. I think the earliest task we need to get started on is getting that email list and funnel going.